Hey there, I'm gonna start doing little rants while playing some games. So I'm gonna try this formula over just doing Let's Plays. Uh, Mainly because it might work out a little better. Today, I actually have something in mind that maybe it's nothing, maybe it's everything. Alright, Zan, Skate, Blaze, Axel. I'm gonna go with Blaze because I think it'll help me playing as Blaze. May it help you envision what I have as a bit of a curiosity. Phew, that was close. In a few seconds, and boom! Yes, we're very lucky to have found the bomb. What's our next move, Axel? Well, Zan was right about the bomb. Maybe he's right about the robots too. But I'll have to see it to believe it. Let's try to get a lead from the other punks. I'm sorry. You don't believe me, Axel. But there's no time to waste. Let's go. Stage 1. Start. Alright, so basically, my curiosity is this. Given that virtual reality is coming soon, and it's got a lot of major players behind it, this isn't going to be like a fad like motion controls were, like everyone and their grandmother is doing this, and like billions have been invested on it. Facebook's in on it, Sony's in on it, Nintendo may have something like it for NX, Valve is on it with the the Vive. So, here's my question. Studies have shown that human beings are very strange creatures. They're very susceptible. They can hear something over and over again and believe it is true, even to the point where it can be about their health. And if it's about their health, they may even start to feel the effects. Like it happens. It's called the placebo effect. Doctor gives you doctor gives you uh, doctor gives you a sugar pill and tells you that it's going to make you run faster, jump higher. Well, you take it and you decide to go for a marathon, and suddenly you're beating your best time, and you're wondering, oh, what kind of miracle drug did this? And then later you ask your doc about the ingredients. He reveals to you that what he's given you is Reese's Pieces, and you've actually, because you believed so hard that you were becoming stronger, you actually did become stronger. That's the placebo effect. And it goes beyond that. Like, we've actually had people who were missing a limb, and we held a mirror up to them with a rubber arm, and told them that that rubber arm was their real arm. Well, obviously that's impossible, but they left them in that condition, like just lying down with that mirror there for so long, that eventually they could start feeling people touching that rubber arm, even though it wasn't part of them. So, I'm wondering, if once VR comes out, since you would clearly be able to look at yourself, and once you did so, you would see whatever character you're playing as, right? Well, say you're a guy, and you play as female protagonists in a lot of games. Now, obviously we know that it is possible for men to have female identities. Or, if I should put this in a more politically correct manner, we know that you can be assigned one gender at birth, but that gender is not necessarily what you would see yourself as. If you played a lot of virtual reality games, looked down, saw your boobies and whatever, played them a lot as a female character, saw your tits and whatnot, would you actually start to develop a female identity? Would you begin to think of yourself more as female, or at the very least gender fluid, forgetting your own masculinity because you've been playing this game where you yourself can look down at your own body and see a female body? Would that be possible as an unintended side effect of virtual reality? Now, it's not going to scare me from it. I'm already transgender. But is this possible? Could this happen? I'm actually wondering the possibilities of how the human mind would react to an artificial environment that they were actually placed in. Ah, shit. Fuck you, Larry the Cable Guy. I cook that shit up. Oh, fuck. I've never been good at these side-scroller beat-em-ups. So, am I crazy? Or... okay, here we go. Am I crazy, or is that something that could happen? What about for other things, like, say they played a game as an animal, or you're a woman and you play a lot of these games as a man? Would you start developing more tomboyish habits? Would you begin to think of yourself more? I don't think someone's gonna play a virtual reality game and just be all like, okay, I'm transgender, let's go get some hormones. But I'm thinking that they become more gender fluid, like not thinking of themselves so, like not having their male gender or female gender so strongly rooted into their identity, but instead beginning to just kind of relax and seeing themselves more as just a person. Or maybe a person who, or maybe a male who has some girlish traits, or a female that has some boyish traits. It might actually be pretty refreshing for the human race to have something like this. Shit. It could actually end up being good for people. Or maybe it could have, I'm not a doctor, maybe it could start making people who previously never had any signs of gender dysphoria start thinking, oh, this male body is not right, but when I go into the machine... I mean, obviously there are these scares about any new form of technology because we're human, and what do humans do? They get afraid of things they don't understand. Right now, some people are probably afraid of how I can be this bad at Streets of Rage. Go fire. As said, side-scroller beat-em-up's not really my genre normally. That's really all I'm thinking, and it could be more than gender. It could be fictional characters in general, or a character like who has a habit of something, like you would suddenly have that habit. Would you gain traits, either mental or physical, of people you played as in virtual reality games? I mean, obviously, this has been asked about regular video games. Like, there was the controversy with Grand Theft Auto. There's still some controversy with video games. Like, oh, I'm running around as this chick running around beating people up. Well, I want to do that in real life? Well, obviously not, because I can differentiate between reality and the game. I'm a woman with a deep voice, wearing boots, some sweatpants, black t-shirt, and a jean jacket, holding an Xbox controller, playing a game that's 16 bits and on the Sega Genesis. There's a barrier here. I know I'm not Blaze. I'm not standing there dancing in this skirt with my strangely huge hands for my small-ass waist. But if this were virtual reality, I'd be seeing the ground. I'd be looking down at the floor and I'd be seeing the ground. Just like it is. I could see the ocean behind me. I could probably move my hands, see my hands, look down, see the cleavage. Because, I mean, my boobs aren't that big. See the outfit, see the waist, see the big arms. Maybe even see my hair get in front of my face. Because my hair's not that long in real life. And, like, there's just an extra barrier there that's been removed. I mean, I've heard of people in furry fandoms in the furry fandom who roleplay their character a lot, and then they just have these brief moments that they're in the shower, and for a second they're like, hey, wait, aren't I a leopard? Where's my spots? For like a split second. Like, nothing too major. They don't, like, think they're cheetah men or something. But just a little oddity here and there. Like, I've had it myself. Sometimes I'll get really wrapped up in something, and then I look away, and for a second I think I've got stripes or claws or something. And I don't actually, but immediately, I dismiss it as being like, oh yeah, that's right. But again, that's when I do something that involves text in my imagination. Actually seeing it there right in front of my face and having my hands, because some of these VR things use motion controls, having my hands actually perform the actions, maybe that would change something. I don't know. I really don't. I'm not an expert. I'd really like to see some psychologists doing a few tests on people in VR and seeing just what exactly happens to people when they play these games for long periods of time. So, I mean, playing a video game with a controller, that's one thing, but when you are the controller and you can actually see these things go down in front of you, not on a screen, but right in front of your face, I mean, could you get PTSD from a horror game in these conditions? I would love to know. And of course, I keep saying negatives, but these could be positives. Like, you play a game as a black guy for a while, and then suddenly you're a little less racist than you may have been. You begin to, or like you could use it to take a walk in someone else's shoes for a little bit, you know? Because I'm not saying that white people are normally racist, but we all have these prejudices. We want to be in with the in-group, and we like to think that we are in the in-group. So we are attracted to people who have the same or similar traits as us. We look at other people, and sometimes what we want to see in other people is ourselves reflected back at us. Ah, shit, I'm gonna die right here. Yeah, I'm gonna die right here. This is the end of the line. Unless this game continues. I don't know if it does. I'm not really a big Streets of Rage person. Well, I'm dead. Okay, it does have continues. Continue the blaze. Zin might have been better for my point because he's like a robot. Fuck! I'm getting my ass kicked. You could also learn how to deal with stress by putting yourself in stressful situations, or maybe you could simulate environments or scenarios that are impossible normally, or not impossible, but too dangerous for you to do that. Like, put yourself in a burning building or surround yourself with insects and use that as a form of immersion therapy to fight certain fears that you may have. Fires. Like I said, any technology ever created has the potential to be used for bad. And I'm talking purely about, not purely, I'm talking about the pros and cons of this. This could be used for bad, this could be used for good. I mean, there are good and bad uses for technology. Like a gun, you could use a gun to go out and kill a bunch of people. But at the same time, you can go out, shoot some animals, and feed your family while minimizing the risk that you have to take to kill something. Like, they give out hunting license every year to get to cut down on the number of deer, because we've killed their natural, as our ancestors killed their natural predator. For a computer, you could do math, or you could hack into people's things. Any technology has a good and bad use. As for games, yeah, even games, you can get addicted. You can either play them casually and have a good time, or you can get addicted and start abandoning your family. Like, there's actually been cases of things like that happening. Like, there was once a little girl whose families were so obsessed with World of War, whose parents were so obsessed with World of Warcraft that they just didn't take care of her anymore. There are people who play MMOs for so long that they literally collapse of starvation and die because the real world just ceases to matter to them. Oh, it's just Azeroth or RuneScape or wherever. That's what matters now. And like I said, you're removing a barrier by having virtual reality, and I'm really excited. I'm trying to build and put myself together a VR-capable machine because I want to get in on this. This could be the future, or it could be a fad, but I'm thinking that if it works, it could revolutionize not just gaming, but therapy even. Because we could simulate all of these, or all these scenarios, or we could simulate being other people and gain understandings of one another. We could... I mean, the things that we could do for psychology alone, just by simulating scenarios and placing people in them. We could study stress by putting people in danger, but not actually having them be in danger. And I guess I've said all I need to say. Virtual reality looks like a very interesting machine, and it's going to go down in price and power requirements over the years. Like, next year's VR machines, you're going to be able to run them on lighter computers with worse specs, and even then, that's not going to matter too terribly much, because getting a computer with higher specs is going to be much cheaper than... is much cheaper next year than last year. Like, now a 980 Ti will... What the fuck? Roger Jr. up in here. And a Jester. I'm not... What the fuck? Okay, I might have to play more of the Streets of Rage series, because holy shit, that's insane. Alright, I think I got him. Yeah, I just gotta keep pushing A. Well, there goes my dominant strategy. Like, I know nothing about Streets of Rage, I just knew that I needed something light to play in the background for my rant. Like, even if it flops as a game instrument, I really hope that they use it for studies, for psychology, to help patients out. Because, like, this has a lot of potential in the doctor's office. I've got another thing I want to talk about, mainly Rosetta at home, and I'm going to save that for my next rant. Because I gotta increase the flow of videos, and I need more than just Let's Plays, because apparently, because I'm not getting views. So, I've really gotta up the views. Kind of made this bet that by the time I went back with a girlfriend, I'd be, I'd have a fan base of some kind. Alright, Bruce. See, I'm trying to think, is there anything more I have to say on the subject of virtual reality? Alright. This game is so fucking insane and so fucking 90s. Look at those fucking haircuts, holy shit. Ow. I'm trying to think, Oh yeah, it's like I said, it's $800 now, and a lot of people are saying that it's too expensive to be worth it. But here's the thing: the first VCRs were cost $1,000, and that was back in 1970s money. All right, inflation had not yet taken its course. Like, it's gonna go down in price. The Atari 2600 was like $800 in 1970s money. And shit, DVD players. How was that for something recent? I remember back in the day when a DVD player was so expensive that I was amazed and astounded when I got a PlayStation 2 because they were so... Because that was one of the bigger reasons to get a PS2 back in the day. They had a built-in DVD players because they read DVDs, and they were cheaper than on-market DVDs. So it's like, hey, I got a PS2, I can play DVDs, all the video quality, they got special features and stuff. So much better than a VHS tape. I don't even have to rewind the movie if I want to watch it again. First DVD I had with my PS2, which was the first DVD player I had, was Mars Attacks, which is a wonderful little movie. It's not unusual to like that. Remember that movie? That's the song they used to kill the aliens. They couldn't handle Barry Manilow. I think that's the guy who sings that. They just couldn't handle, like, their brains would explode anytime they heard that song. And then they had that chick who they cut her head off and then they put it on a dog. It was awesome. Well, the next generation is gonna remember if this catches on and you're one of the early adopters, you can tell your grandkids, yeah, I remember growing up with cartoons and sci-fi novels where virtual reality was just this amazing thing. I mean, you're using it now to play Donkey Kong, to play the virtual remake of Donkey Kong. Finally brought back King K. Rool after all these years. Holy shit, didn't think I'd see that coming. Ow. Clank? You're my best friend, Clank. I remember back when they thought that stuff was just like Star Trek. You know, that thing that we have all the technology from that isn't really futuristic now. Yeah, I was like one of the first ones to had it, and all we had for it was Job Simulator, and I worked at a gas station. And I know, that sounds so mundane for virtual reality, and that's if it works. Like, at the same time, it could be a giant flop. We could just abandon it entirely. I'm hoping we don't, because immersing humans into virtual environments could be one of the first steps we take towards uploading humans into machines. Like, having your actual brain be in there, you can play video games all the time. You could be the video game. And I truly believe that humanity will advance to a part like that in my lifetime. And maybe this could be how we know humans can handle living inside of a virtual environment. Eventually, we are going to see people uploaded into robot bodies. And that's going to be pretty weird, but eventually it's going to become a norm. We'll see people who are their personas in a virtual world. Because after all, if you're made of data, your body can look like anything. And having a body that can make you have the ability to have virtual people who could look like anything, those people are going to have such a huge understanding because they're going to be able to become whatever they want at any time. They could also read books really, really fast. They'll be superhumans, and they'll probably be some of our eldest and wisest. They'll live among us in robot bodies. We are living in a time of great human evolution, and I want to know if anyone else is feeling it. I'm really feeling it. Are you really feeling it? Oh, fuck. Yeah. I'm really feeling it. Call me Shulk, but I'm just... Call me a dreamer, too, because they kind of did say these things. They'd say, "Oh, by the year 2000, all food will come in pill forms, and we'll have flying cars." No, that didn't happen, but it's now considered normal to have two people of the same gender married. So we made progress, just not the kind of progress you were expecting. But at the same time, on the same vein, we're talking about the same vein. Look at an old Jetsons cartoon. They had people using punch cards to activate computers. Like, okay, sure, they were wrong about the flying cars, but they were also wrong about how advanced the computers got, because, shit, my computer could run circles around anything George Jetson had. The computer is more powerful than any game console on the market in the 1992. The Sega CD, more like trash. I mean, there are people living among us who they're actually from a time period where just having a movie on a VHS tape was impressive. And now they're streaming data to their tablet. Like they're sitting on the toilet watching a movie about Iron Man where he can actually fly. I mean, sure, it's fucking CGI, but they didn't even have CGI back then. Back then, if they wanted someone to fly, they had to put him in front of a green screen. But one of the things I love about being like 24 is when I'm in my 40s, I'm gonna be that person who's going, back in my day, we had to watch movies on tablets. We couldn't just beam them into your heads. Heads. Kind of like how back then, kind of like we have now, we've got people who are saying, man, I can't believe this. We can just stream Godzilla movies onto my tablet. I remember back in the day, you had to be lucky and see if there any were on at the time, or maybe if you knew a friend from Japan, you could get a horribly subbed, grainy ass videotape. And that's not even getting started on what's changed socially. I mean, holy fuck shit, ballsack. Oh yeah, that's the part I was just on. So yeah, I'm really hoping VR is gonna kick ass. Maybe it will. Maybe I'm crazy. I guess it remains to be seen. But by 2018, I'm hoping VR will be a norm. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. Oh, also, hashtag Bernie Sanders 2016, hashtag